Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, Barakatam Akim, double honors to the elders, the great millstone. Alright, much love and respect to all you brothers out there doing the work, sincerity and truth, striving for the hopeful elect, enduring all afflictions and seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Alright, I just want to go into a quick lesson. Basically, as what it says here in the book of James, be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. Alright? Because in order for you to be a doer, you have to have an attentive ear. Alright? You have to have a willingness and a readiness of spirit to learn and to gather and soak in information rapidly. Not every now and then. Not when you want to. Alright? It's like a baby. When a baby is born, what is one of the first things they have the mother do in order to pacify the child from crying? Is put the baby on the mother's paps, its teats, all right, to gain, because it's hungry. So if you're first coming into this thing, right, you should be hungry and retaining this knowledge. Okay? You should be hungry and retaining this knowledge. You should have an attentive ear. You should have a readiness of mind as a sponge, soaking up all the information that you can. Okay? Like I said, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. But like I said, you have to hear first, because faith cometh by the hearing of the Most High. But after you hear, what do? I just said it. You're a doer. You become a doer. You move in action, meaning that you're studying, you're watching videos, okay? You're looking up words. You're building up your vocabulary, okay? The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is coming into you, and you're going to look at the world differently, okay? You're going to look at people differently, all right? So that's a question that you got to ask yourself. Am I a doer or a hearer? Okay? And if I'm a hearer, if I listen, if I'm a hearer, am I applying these things into my life? Am I learning? Okay? Because like I said, using the baby as an example, that's one of the first things that you have to do to the baby. And that's not even by choice. That's what the baby needs. The baby needs its nutrients. It needs to be filled with its mother's milk. Okay? But at the same time, that's why brothers have thousands and thousands of videos online, and you have access to the internet, all right, as a tool, versus back in the day, like example for the elders, they didn't have the internet, so they had to do everything by manually studying, writing down on paper, ordering books, renting library books, okay, and just digging, researching. You know, but it's like nowadays, in 2019, you got these guys that are just spoiled, man. They want everything just handed to them, hand-fed, spoon-fed. All right. You gotta get into this thing, man. And like you always gotta remember the Passover. During the Passover, it wasn't a thing that they were taking their time. They were rushed into eating the Passover lamb, which is the symbolic for Yahweh Shai. It wasn't a dinner. Okay, this is not a dinner to where you're laying back and kicking back and you're gonna kick your feet up. You're like, oh yeah, I know I'm an Israelite. Oh man, that was good. That was a good show. Oh, I went out to the highways and the byways. Oh, I feel good. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna have those feelings only because of the hell that you're catching. But this is a job, man. This is something that has to be done. Okay, this is something that you have to be serious-minded about. All right, I'm gonna read that again in James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Okay? Because a hearer, what's he gonna do if all he does is hear? If all he does is just listen and he ain't moving in action. That's why brothers are rebuking certain guys that are on comment board, because they ain't doing nothing. You know? But you'll do everything else under the sun. You'll research it, you'll learn it. You know, you'll read the instructions on it. You'll master an Xbox, PlayStation, the video games. But when it comes to the truth, it's like you're half-assed. You half-assed it. You can't be that way in the truth, man. You're either gonna love the other. You can either love the other or hate and hate the other one, man. As I made a video in prior days in my videos. You're either gonna hold on to one and let the other one go. You know? It's too soon. Like I said, a baby comes out the mother's womb. It's always hungry. It's always hungry and it's always sleeping. And it's sleeping, why? Because it's generating energy. It's growing its strength. It's strengthening itself. But it has to be fed. You have to feed yourself. Like I said, not here every now and then. You don't read weeks or days and then you expect to come back and read and to understand, you know. No, man, you have to be in this daily. You have to be hungry, man. It's a repetitive thing. Repetition. Going to precept, going back and forth. It's a lot of toss to and fro in the scriptures. You have to always go back and forth. You know? But that's what it is. But like I said, if you're a hearer, you have to be an attentive hearer. Okay? A good listener. And a good listener is what? Obedient. So it becomes a doer. Right? Else you're deceiving yourself. Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. You're still the same guy. You're still the same guy when you first heard the truth. Now you're just with the camp, or you're just going through scriptures, but the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is not working in you the way you need it to work in you. You have to have a zeal. You have to have a passion, man. Okay, you can't dine at the table with devils and at the table of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It tells you that in the book of Corinthians, man. All right, like brothers, and we always say, you got guys coming in this thing for different reasons, man. It could be because they want to be seen of men. They want to be, it can be just because of their own selves. They want to know they have they're like, yeah, I found this knowledge, and it's cool, and whatever. But they're not learning anything. They're not doing anything with it. They're not serious about it. You know, they're not a soldier for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, like us the brothers that have been in this thing for a long time, you know, we know that anybody can put on the garment, go onto the highways and the byways, talk shit to Esau, talk shit to the 2/3. Niggas are doing that in the streets today. You know? So that's not a big indicator that we use to identify and be like, oh yeah, that brother's real. No, it's through his actions, man, through his motivation. You know what I'm saying? His conduct. All right. So that's what that means in verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. He's still the same guy, man. You ain't changed, man. You're still used to doing your own thing. You still want to do. And the scriptures talk about doing your own thing. That, and the scriptures call it being willful, and being willful will get you killed, man. This is not no game, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like these niggas in the world. They think brothers are playing around. You know what I'm saying? They think that the Most High won't open up a door. Like, we ain't trying to be carnal, but they think that the Most High won't open the door to where we will unleash, man. People think this is a game. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai will fight our battles. You know what I'm saying? But the brothers that have been out there laboring for years, those brothers are seriously minded brothers, man. And we try to be humble and peaceful as much that lieth in us. When you push somebody up against the wall, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hit. You know what I'm saying? You will get rebuked. You will be corrected. You know, by the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It says, for he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So he beholds himself. You know what I'm saying? And goeth his own way. He goes his own way. He's willful. He does what he wants. Because the truth is not. He's not allowing the truth to set in him, man. Only the Holy Spirit knows the reason for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the scriptures tell us why certain things, but we can't identify why for each and every person. You know, but the Spirit knows why she's not resting in that individual, because, you know, only she knows at the time. But in order, if you want to have the Spirit rest with you, you have to humble yourself, man. You have to let go of certain things, man. You can't hold on to the world and hold on to the truth. You can't have one foot in and one foot out, man. You can't be laying things upon people so you can and you exempt yourself from it, but you're still taking benefit out of it. You're still profiting off of other people. You know what I'm saying? It says, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. To the point that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he has the power to bug you out, man. And you're never gonna be the same. You know what I'm saying? You won't be the same. You'll forget what type of man you were. You know? You were better off never ever knowing the truth, or you were better off being humble and attentive to this word and the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's what it is. A lot of guys are not afraid of the Lord, man. They're not afraid of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's judgment. They don't think his judgment can be played out on them. I've had my share of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai casting judgment, chastising me, man. And it's not a good, it don't feel good, man. But you know what? I deserve it, and I have to keep pushing forward and fighting for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? It says, but whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, right, which is the scriptures, whoever looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. You see? You have to apply yourself, man. You have to show the Lord that you're hungry. He's not just gonna give it to you like that. He uses men to plant seeds. Okay? But from there, it's the Lord that gives the increase. And you have to pray, man. You have to pray earnestly. Ask for the Holy Spirit, man. You have to ask for that spirit of being zealous. You know what I'm saying? You can't have that spirit that you had in coming into the truth, that you had in the world. That Jesus loves everybody, that everybody's my brother. You know what I'm saying? That's not what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is talking about, man. You gotta hate this world. what I'm saying? Like Yahweh Shai, when he was tempted by the devil, you know, he rejected everything. He rejected everything that the devil was presented to him. He hated what was going on. He hated what he was seeing his people going through, how they were being, you know, seeing all these Israelites just being straight wicked, you know. But Yahweh Shai knew too that his father already had a set number that he was gonna be able to deliver, that he gave to his son, and he knew that. He wasn't there to save every single person. He wasn't there saying, "Oh, all these people out here are my brothers. All these people out here are, you know, I'm gonna look out for you." No, man. He says that he that doeth the will of his father, those are his brothers, man. Those that doing the will, man. That, and the word doing goes back to a word, an action word, man. You cannot be a forgetful hearer. Everything, you use the internet, man. You use the internet for your bank account. You don't lose track about your bank account. You know what I'm saying? You don't lose track about your password. You don't lose track about when your paycheck's coming or when you're short on your money. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of basic information, especially if you're going on a year in this thing, and you should already have a hold of, man. You're already a year in this thing, you should already have basic information implanted in your brain, man, retaining it. All right, let me go look up this word, attentive. Nehemiah 1:6. It says, "Let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open." See, a lot of guys, they still want to be asleep, man. They still want to be in that state of slumberness. They don't want to be woken up, because being woke up, to be woke, means that you're gonna be a doer, man. You're gonna be moving in action. The Lord said He'd rather you be hot or cold. There's no in between. There's no, I'm gonna go at this at my own pace. You know? But it's just like, man, it's hard to explain balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have balance. But you got some guys that will take advantage of that. When brothers will say balance, they think that they can just not do anything. They don't have to do nothing. You know? It says, "Let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy saint, the servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel, thy servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have I sinned." So Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, He has an attentive ear, and His eyes are open. But that we have to be that same example, man. Okay? We have to be attentive. There's one in the book of Proverbs, man. And I don't know why it's not coming up. I can't get my sword because I'm driving right now. But let me see. And I won't be able to find it, brothers. But you know what? Here. Book of Proverbs. Lord willing, they'll come up with this. But I don't think this is Proverbs 22:17. It says, "Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee. They shall withal be fitted in thy lips. Okay? So you have to bow down yourself to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and be a doer, man. You have to be a good listener. You know? Things should change about yourself. You know? How you walk, how you eat, how you conduct yourself, man. You know? You're not supposed to be the same person you were in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee. Because keeping the words, retaining these words in you, is going to move you into doing what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai needs you to do. Studying, looking up words, researching. You know, you're not just laying around, sitting around, eating and drinking like everything's all good. You're seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. We're not out. You're not saved yet. You know what I'm saying? It says, that thy trust may be in Yahweh, I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. Have not I written to thee excellent things in counsels and knowledge, that I might make thee know the certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth of them that send unto thee? Right? Because the scriptures say that we have to give every man an answer that asks us of our faith. Right? Roughly paraphrasing. But not being ignorant of small or great matter. You know? You can't be a forgetful hearer, man. Alright? You gotta be a doer of the word and a good listener, having an attentive ear, right? Which is able to retain knowledge. You're retaining information. You're retaining what you watch on videos. When there's a proclamation being presented to the brothers, you have to follow by it, man. All right. Let's go over here to Romans chapter 2. Romans 2 and 13, it says, for not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. You see? You have to be a doer, man. So I'm going to look up that word doer right here in this particular scripture. Alright. Sorry, brothers, man. I'm driving. Outline of biblical usage says a maker, a producer, an author, a doer, performer, one who obeys or fulfills the law. Obedience is key, man, in this thing. And if you can't be obedient with the most simplest things, it's going to be harder for you in the future, in the long run, dealing with things that come with maturity, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find yourself in a lot of difficult situations that you won't be able to endure. Okay, just when you come in to serve Yahweh Shai, you have to apply his counsels, his precepts, his commandments into your life, man. This is not something that they try to make it out to be in the churches, that you just sit around, the Lord's gonna come and do everything for you. You ain't gotta worry about shit. It's just gonna pop up one day. No, man, you have to apply yourself into this thing, man. You have to be a living sacrifice. You have to be an actual epistle, all right, with the word, the law written upon your hearts, man. Whatever the Most High measure is given to you to be written upon your heart. That's what it is, man. All right. It says a performer, especially a poet, doer, a poet, man. You know? There's a lot of milk scriptures that you have to learn, man. And that's the first thing that you should be learning, not the prophecies. Okay? The prophecies are meat for those that are of maturity. Okay? When Yahushua was on the scene, he was speaking to his people on how to be with one another, man. All right? Stop hating on each other. Stop looking with envy and jealousy on each other all the time, man. You know? Which goes back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Because the law, statutes, and commandments talk about all that stuff. But they forgot the law. They're forgetful here. You know? You have to apply yourself. You have to study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? Rightly dividing the word of truth. Okay? You have to get into the spirit, man. Get onto the live shows. Because it's gonna come a time where it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have a problem cutting people off, man. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be found that way. You know? You coming in this thing because you have a hunger. All right? Just remember, you have to be hungry. Okay? And don't be like the ones that he spoke up against. They honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, man. Their mindset isn't on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be a part-time Israelite. When you feel like you want to be an Israelite or you want to be brotherly, you know, there's sacrifices that have to be made that are going to prove oneself, man. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be a doer, one who obeys. You know what I'm saying? Not just men, but what the word says, man. All right? And get into the scriptures. Watch the videos. That's the only way you're going to learn, man. You know what I'm saying? Brothers to give you enough, you know, for a time, and you're supposed to go off of it, give you enough counsel, and you go off on that, and you increase. All right? It's just like guys at work. They've been doing this shit for years. They still have to ask questions. And you're like, damn, are you not? And it's basic. It's basic questions too. The basics is what you should have locked. All right, the basics, the basic fundamentals is what you should have locked. And every now and then, even as older brothers, we have to go back into the basics and rehearse all over again to get familiar with the basics again, because you could be on the subject for a while and that's what you're preaching, but the Spirit will bring you back to take you back to kindergarten, so to speak, preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, etc. All right, but you're going back to refreshing yourself because you get so far into other parts of the scriptures and deeper into certain knowledge that you tend to forget. But you know that us as being you know, older in this truth, we know that we already know what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? So just keep reading, studying. Don't be a forgetful here. Okay? Meditate. That's why the scriptures say meditate upon these things. Meaning that your mind is constantly on what's being told to you as far as through the scriptures,